In the headlines, jubilation as 3 abducted train passengers regain freedom. Remaining victims' families take protest to ministry. Federal government orders evacuation of students of FGC Kwali, beef up security in Unity colleges in Abuja. Shop owners in Abuja count losses as FCTA demolishes illegal structures at Jabi Park. And on the foreign scene, Northern Ireland peacemaker David Trimble dies at 77. Hello and welcome to Trust News Update. I'm Dashan Hussaina Usman. Now the news in full. 3 hostages of the Kaduna train attack on Monday afternoon regained freedom from captivity. Among them is Barrister Hassan Lawal, who was seen in the recent video in circulation begging government to come to their aid. Barrister Hassan was kidnapped along with his wife when terrorists attacked the Kaduna-Abuja train, but his wife was among the first 11 persons freed by the terrorists. Hassan, who said the Nigerian government has failed to effect their release, added that it is a bitter experience being in captivity and called on the international community to intervene.
Actually, I'm so excited in the midst of to gain my freedom. And as you can see, in the midst of my friends and relatives, I'm highly excited and overwhelmed by the reception I received from my family.
Any special message?
Yes, actually, I'm calling on as I said, the government has failed woefully in terms of security and in terms of rescuing our brothers that are still in captivity. So I'm calling on the international communities and also other foreign agencies to come to their aid to see that they are rescued on time, because the situation they are in now is actually terrible.
Was there any kind of attempt by the security agencies to rescue you guys while in the forest?
Actually, there is none. I have never heard of that. Thank you.
Talking about torture, talking about the torturing.
No, that is obvious, as a video was released yesterday, and you see the kind of torture we experienced during that period, and it's like the thing is getting worse and worse. So therefore, the international community needs to come in and see how they can rescue those in captivity. And those in captivity, including small children, on their age, they are there really suffering for over 4 months, sleeping on bare floor in spite of the harsh weather, harsh condition we are in.
Families of the Abuja-Kaduna train attack are calling on the government to negotiate with the terrorists keeping their relatives in captivity. They made the call during a protest on Monday at the entrance of the Federal Ministry of Transportation in Abuja. The renewed agitation of the families followed a video clip released by the terrorists brutalizing their families. Nana Mohammed was there and now reports.
This is an emotional and traumatic scene. The air is tense, and these people are angered, frustrated, and pained. Families of victims of the Abuja-Kaduna train attack have taken their agitations a step further, blocking the entrance of the Ministry of Transportation. The protest was triggered by a new video released by the abductors showing their relatives being subjected to dehumanizing treatment. Fatima Aminu is a sister to one of the victims still in captivity.
My sister's name is Hafsat Abdullahi. The daughter is Baby Islam, and she's 41-year-old.
What happened when she left home?
She came for our younger sister's wedding here in Abuja because she's married and stays in Kaduna with her husband and 6 kids, plus this one 7. So she came for the wedding and she was going back on 28th, and me, I was in the hospital self because I was pregnant. How did I feel? I've been down since that yesterday morning. I've been lying down because like don't sue me in a way. fever thing.
After hours of waiting outside, the Minister for Transportation, Maazu Sambo, addressed the family members.
This Monday would have been the first time that I was going to be receiving briefings about activities of the ministry and its agencies. Before I resumed, I had spoken to the Permanent Secretary to try and get in touch with the victims, with the families of the victims of the unfortunate train incident. The intention was, my first port of call will be to hold a dialogue with you guys. My own, without receiving any briefing from anybody, without studying the report, without knowing even what government has done so far. I think it will be very, very wrong of me to tell you, give me so time frame.
But some of the families were reluctant to agree with the minister, as according to them, time is of the essence, and their loved ones still in captive and being treated like animals have no time. The victims were kidnapped on March 28, 2022, after an attack on the Kaduna-Abuja-bound train.
In his words, I am satisfied with those promises, but I am not satisfied with the time frame, because he said he is committed to doing something to release our loved ones. But the only thing I'm not happy about is giving us the time in which our loved ones should be released. We've been patient enough.
So far, about 21 of the victims were released after 4 months, and 40 of them, including children, are still fighting for their freedom, just as their families are desperate and relentless to rescue their freedom.
Governor, help us, please. Please. Governor, please.
Nan Muhammad, Trust TV News, Abuja.
Protesters on Monday morning stormed the Kaduna State House of Assembly asking the government to rescue the remaining train attack hostages whose lives have been threatened by the abductors. The protests followed the release of the now trending video of terrorists flogging kidnapped Kaduna train attack hostages. The protesters, who held placards with different inscriptions and chanting solidarity songs, commenced the protest at the Lugard Hall around Kaduna before proceeding to the State Assembly. The report.
Before now, only the relatives of the victims held a press briefing demanding the release of their relatives. But recently, sympathizers and other residents of the metropolis have joined the struggle to ensure the release of their victims. Some of the victims' family members who expressed their displeasure say, despite hoping on the government to secure the release of their loved ones, such hopes continue to be dashed with the manner government handles the situation.
Government needs to come to our aid. Should we be, in the first instance, should we be begging the government? And it's obvious. And it's obvious from the videos released about 2 days ago what the captives, the kidnappers have said. They said they don't want the government to come and discuss with them, that the government has failed them, that we as individuals should come and rescue our loved ones. How do we go to rescue our loved ones when our government have failed us? How do we go into where we don't know to go and rescue our loved ones? That's why we are out today to call on the government to do the needful.
They should bring out our loved one. That is what we want. We are begging on Mr. President and Governor Malam Nasir El-Rufai to do something and bring out our loved one. This is too much for us. Our parents cannot take it again. They should not kill our parents before their time. They should bring out our loved one. We have 85-year-old woman in that bush that she's still there. They can't see her video. We can't see her the way she talked to. Look at the whole people in the bush. They should please help us. They should bring out our loved ones. We are tired. We are tired. We cannot take it again.
In the last 24 hours, 2 protests were staged in Kaduna and another in Abuja in response to the trending video. It is the hope of not just the families, but the generality of Nigerians that the hostages will be rescued by the concerned authorities in no distant future. Bello Musa, Trust TV News, Kaduna.
Still on insecurity, more than 8,000 people were displaced from the Shimfiɗa community in Jibia local government area of Katsina State. This was a result of the Nigerian army withdrawing its troops from an area located in the frontline areas. For the first time, displaced victims visited Shimfiɗa to weigh the level of damage and the possibility of resettlement. Jamil Mabai tells us more.
These burnt houses are a graphic reminder of the carnage that took place in Shimfiɗa community in Jibia local government of Katsina State. Not a single bullet was fired, yet 9 people lost their lives from the stampede caused by fear and anxiety.
These women you are seeing, they came here on foot. No bullet was fired or shot at somebody, but 8 people died. They died due to the stampede after thrown into a car.
According to the victims, stationed army personnel began impromptu withdrawal from the community. Soon, locals panicked.
At the end, the commandant said we should tell our people to follow them after they finish parking. Before you know, people panicked. For 7 years, we have been feeding the government on any information that has to do with security. Yet, in broad daylight, they decided to be unjust to us.
For the first time, displaced victims travel through the roads leading to Shimfiɗa community. With a bad road network, it's hard for motorists and security personnel to respond in case of an emergency. Inside the community, the hallmark of bandits' terror. Destruction, which comes without warning. With empty streets, a once lively Shimfiɗa is lifeless. The purpose of the visit was to have on-the-spot inspection for a possible resettlement.
We don't have anything to come back and do in Shimfiɗa. We have lost everything in this world. We lost everything. We have all seen our houses. What will you tell your family when you go back? They should give up. There is no hope of going back.
For now, their only hope of resettlement lies in the hands of the government. And with 5 months gone, how much more will they have to wait? Jamil Mabai, Trust TV, Katsina.
The federal government has ordered the immediate closure of Federal Government College Kwali in Kwali area of the Federal Capital Territory. The Director of Press and Public Relations at the Federal Ministry of Education, Ben Gong, who announced this in a statement on Monday in Abuja, said the Minister of Education, Adamu, gave the directive in order to prevent any attack on the school. He said the closure became necessary following the security breach on Sheda and Lambata villages in the suburbs of Kwali Area Council. While Adamu said the timely intervention of security operatives saved the situation, he directed the authorities of the school to make arrangements for final year students to conclude their National Examination Council examinations. The minister also directed principals of Unity colleges across the country to communicate with security agencies within their jurisdictions to forestall any security breach in the government schools. Unknown gunmen on Monday attacked Okuta Elerin-La Police Division in Akure, the Ondo State capital, killing the one policeman. The reason for the attack is yet to be ascertained as at the time of filing in this report. Spokesperson of the command, Fumilayo Dunlami, who confirmed the incident, said investigation has commenced into the attack. Still on security, at least 9 persons have been killed in a bomb explosion in Government Girls Secondary School, Bama, local government area, Borno State, at about 12 o'clock of today. Reports indicates the people killed were metal scavengers who accidentally picked an IED planted by the terrorists in the area. More details as the story unfolds. Nigeria's electoral umpire, the Independent National Electoral Commission, reaffirmed that the continuous voter registration exercise will be suspended on Sunday, 31st July 2022. To this end, the Commission is calling on eligible Nigerians who are yet to participate to seize the one-week opportunity ahead of closure and get registered. The report.
The continuous voters registration exercise, which started over a year ago, had witnessed a 1-month further extension from the initial deadline. To encourage Nigerians to participate in the exercise, INEC, with support from the European Union in collaboration with IAGA Africa, held concerts in Lagos and Abuja, where thousands more got registered. With preparations in top gear for the 2023 general elections, INEC says the CVR exercise has to give way, but added that collection of the PVCs will continue while newly registered cards will be ready for collection by October 2022.
All CVR activities except the collection of already printed PVCs will be suspended on Sunday, 31st of July 2022. Meanwhile, the Honorable Chairman, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, has already approved not only that extension of time, but also increased the closing hours to 5 p.m. daily to attend to registrants. And in addition, this exercise was carried on last Saturday and yesterday Sunday. And the exercise will also be carried on the next Saturday and the next Sunday.
Bello urged registrants in the FCT to patronize centers within their area councils and shun multiple registrations to avoid risking disenfranchisement, noting that special considerations are made for persons living with disabilities.
The Federal Commission for People with Disability invited us for a press conference last week at their premises and requested INEC to deploy an ABED machine at each area council where they have designated centers in order to register people with disabilities. Our national chairman, being very passionate in inclusivity, we have already obliged, and the program all over the FCT began this Monday morning, and all the IBAN machines have been deployed in all the centers to capture people with disabilities.
He further stated that reports of challenges of network interruption, slow and faulty machines, among others, experienced during the course of the CVR exercise and conduct of some governorship elections in parts of the country are being addressed by the Commission to ensure a credible outing at the 2023 polls. Aisha Salihu, Trust TV News, Abuja.
You're watching Trust News Update. Coming up after the break. Despite subsidy, farmers lament on price of fertilizer. Do stay with us. Welcome back and thanks for staying with us. Let's take a look at some of our top stories. You heard that jubilations as 3 abducted train passengers regain freedom. Remaining victims' families take protest to ministry. We also told you that federal government orders evacuation of students of FGC Kwali, beef up security in Unity colleges in Abuja. Moving on to other stories, shop owners in Abuja are counting their losses as Federal Capital Territory Administration bulldozers pulled down illegal structures housing their shops at Jabi Motor Park. The exercise is part of ongoing demolition in the capital city. The report.
It is indeed a Black Monday for shop owners who come for normal business only to see bulldozers pulling down their shops.
On Thursday, they came and started scattering everywhere. On Saturday, they came for marking final demolition. So we wake up this morning, coming to shop, we saw this.
We just come here this morning, just come and start to demolish. Even the people then they give us the land. We never give them anything. Just come here and we'll give them some things. They never give them things. So we just need to demolish this morning.
While it is a sad day for shop owners, metal scrap scavengers are more than happy to collect the leftovers. This man says he gets his lunch ticket from the debris.
This is aluminium. It is used to fabricate pot, kettle, and many things.
Senior Special Assistant to the FCT Minister on Monitoring, Inspection and Enforcement, Ikaro Atta, says the exercise will continue.
The other ones they will be removed tomorrow. The ones that will be removed tomorrow. The main cardinal place we have to go now for theatre of operation is Kuje Area Council. The entire Kuje Road corridor will be cleared. After we have cleared the whole Kuje Road corridor, we will be clearing the railway corridor. People build houses on. We will clear those ones. Then we'll go back to Papin. Every area.
Some traders struggle to retrieve some valuables, though many others are not so lucky. About 10-story buildings are down beyond recognition. Ahmad Datti, Trust TV News, Abuja.
Farmers in Bauchi State say that despite subsidy on fertilizer, local farmers find it difficult to buy the commodity. The state governor had launched the 2022 sales of fertilizer, pegging the price between 1,500 and 20,500 naira only per bag. The farmers made the observations during the official flagging off of the sale of fertilizer for the farming season held at Nabardo Toro local government area of the state. Trust TV's Adamu Imam completes the report.
Bauchi State has fixed the price of 50 kg of NPK and urea fertilizer at 15,000 naira and 20,500 naira, but only to practicing farmers in the state. Governor Bala Muhammad, while speaking at the official launching of 2022 farming season and fertilizer distribution, says the Russia-Ukraine war has caused astronomical rise in price of raw materials for the commodity. While the farmers appeal for justice in the distribution, they noted that there are no much change with the one sold in the market. Honestly, the price is not encouraging. Why? Because the Bauchi NPK fertilizer we usually buy at the cost of 15,000 naira, while urea 21,000 naira. But what we saw here, the difference is just 500 naira only. I'm contemplating. Before we expected that the government price will make us proud, but it is surprising. I'm still in doubt whether to buy or not.
Away from Nigeria, David Trimble, the Northern Irish leader whose statecraft helped end decades of conflict in the United Kingdom territory and earned him a Nobel Peace Prize, has died at the age of 77. Trimble passed away peacefully following a short illness. Trimble and Irish nationalist John Hume jointly received the Nobel Prize in 1998 for their roles in crafting the Good Friday Agreement, which helped end the violence between Catholic nationalists seeking Irish unity and pro-British Protestants who wanted to stay in the UK. About 3,600 people died during the 30 years of conflict in the territory. And with this, we've come to the end of Trust News Update. Don't forget to follow us across all our social media platforms. I'm Dashan Husseina Usman. Thanks for watching.